Hey Flosstube friends, it's Lana, Silly Notion Stitcher here with my WIP Parade 2025. Oh my gosh, so the last time I did a WIP Parade, I think it was 2022. They are a big undertaking, but I'm going to try to keep it moving. I was newer to the game at that time, so I'm going to jump right in. I will do a little break in a little bit for those who are new here as to where I am. It's a little snowy still outside and all that stuff. I will start with what I've been working on most recently. And this is a Heart and Hand, the 2023 design in this series that she's been doing. And I bought it as a kit. I think it was my first ever kit, and I was like, oh, this is what people are talking about when they talk about kits. Now, it did come with this lovely piece of linen. It is really gorgeous. But I mostly right now stitch on Ada and Lugana. That's what I feel comfortable with. But I have a little story about that. So this was, this is 32 count Heartland linen. I do believe it's Picture This Plus. Yes, Picture This Plus. And I am a Picture This Plus fan. I really like their Adas. So what I have to say about this, it also is done with the Cottage Garden Threads leather bound, and I really enjoyed this color, the variegation in it. This was the first time I used Cottage Garden Threads. I wish the lengths were a little bit longer. They are pre-cut lengths, so I did feel like I was loading the needle a lot, but it's probably better for us all to not push that thread through and you know, have some fresh fiber in there. So I picked a fabric flare. I was going to say that this was an Ada, but it is a Lugana, and it's got a little sparkle and a little, I don't know the name of this actually, but it has a little bit of modeling in it that is really fun. I just really like that. So I love how it's turned out. Now in the bottom corner, I am not crazy about the Heart and Hand motif. It's just not my thing. And this one looks a little mechanical to me. So, and you also see there's a button there and that star. So last night I was really trying to finish this. And I thought, well, I'll put in some of those little crosses and things. And then that heart button, I remembered I had from a Stitch New England Smalls Exchange. Someone gave that to me. It's gorgeous. It's like a little pottery type heart. And that will go in that space. Well, it's not even big enough for that. It's an awkward space to put something like that there. So I am going to finish the star, try to find the button that is supposed to be there. I have some ideas as to where it would be, because I did get the kit. My cat chews on plastic, and so all these patterns coming in the plastic bags, I can't leave them just out. So I get rid of the plastic bags, and then if there are little extras like that, I have to hope that I have put them in a place where I will find them again. So far that has not happened, but okay, so that is that one. And these projects are in this lovely Liberty project bag. I usually make my own bags, but I treated myself to a 12 Days of Liberty box this past Christmas season. Very lovely and very nice, meticulously sewn work. This is by Jenny of, I think it's like Poppy and Pansies, or Poppies and something, and I think it's Haberdashery or Stitch Co., but she sells other like vintage and antique ribbons and things like that. So it also comes with like a little accompanying floss bag, but I have saved that for use with another project. But this is awesome because, you know, I can use it for Christmas, roll right into Valentine's, works for like strawberry stitching, which I have a bunch of. So if you remember this 32 count linen, I started this coffee first pattern. Love this. I've had it now for a while and wanted to start working on it, but I am a seasonal stitcher. So I am now moving out of the snowman time, done with Christmas, and now is the time when I can stitch like non-seasonal fun things that I like. I agonized on what to use because this calls for 40 count. Sorry, no. I do have some 40 count, but I just wasn't ready for that, and it's not the right color. So it's 40 count vintage country mocha linen. Well, this I believe is Picture This Plus oaken or earthen. It's probably 16 count, although maybe it's 18 count, because I still wanted it to be petite. Well, last night this was hiding under a pile, and I realized I've been working on a linen and I've been doing okay with it. As long as I have my magnification, I am good, and my lighting. This is 32 count and it's gorgeous, and the white, this bamboo, has to show up on it. Perfect. I mean, happy Valentine's Day to me. So love these colors that are part of this chart. I think I'm missing some. I think I need to pull. There's some things where I wasn't going to get the floss, fancy floss, because it's like for her face. I think I can, you know, for a few stitches I can find something. Now, I'm not a huge fan of people standing on gigantic mugs, and that is a lot of white stitching. I may have her be standing on just a little mound. It might even be fun to make it seem like it's a mound of like coffee beans or coffee grounds or something. So we'll see what I do there. But I have so much to stitch, and it's just a lot of white. I'm not crazy about doing white. I have this bamboo from actually probably another project that I pulled, and we'll use it if I don't do all that white. So that's sort of my current plan right now with that. All right. Also in this bag is this little grouping of ornaments. I am now a proud featherweight owner. That's not exactly a Singer featherweight, but in the spirit of vintage sewing machines, I started with that one. This is my gigantic start on that. I think I might have started this when I was with my quilting friends. We did a November retreat with each other. A lot of times our retreats are dragging all of our sewing machine and quilting fabric and big hauls of stuff, and we spread out for the whole weekend at this place, and we quilt and sew the whole weekend. But in November we have started doing hand sewing projects, and so I'm pretty sure I started this. And so we turned to our other loves. Some of us cross stitch. There's a knitter, And then my one friend often reserves, she now has a long arm, so she can do a lot of her own quilting, and then she will come and bind her quilts. So these little squares of linen I am keeping in this bag. These are Grace Notes linens, and they weren't marked, but they were, so they're all different sizes and things. But they were at the end of the register at the August Grace Notes retreat in the Allentown area that I attended. So I keep these all together because when I'm ready to work on these other ornaments, I will probably be picking from those colors to just jazz it up a little bit. All right, and also in this bag, as I said, I have now switched to things that are more about my other interests, aside from seasonal type charts. So this is Antique Cups and Spoons by Shakespeare's Peddler. I actually had to miss a tea party with some longtime friends this weekend because of the snow that you see outside. It was about 60 miles away, and I'm like, sorry guys, I can't make it. But they just texted me and said that there is a tea train that is coming up in another month, actually less than a month. So we're going to do that. So that will be fun. This is my work so far on this. And I am using Dinky Dyes silk. This is a piece of frieze linen, which I think is Picture This Plus or it's Atomic Ranch. I know that I was seeing a lot of frieze, unless it's weathered stone. It could be weathered stone in linen as well, because weathered stone, yes, that's what it is. Sorry about that. Weathered stone has this lovely greenish modeling to it. I thought about using the light today, the ring light, and now it's starting to get darker outside, so the lighting is maybe going to be a problem. But the ring light really reflects in my glasses, and I was like, yeah, nobody's going to keep watching this, so. But yeah, the Dinky Dyes silk, I don't have a color for it. We were given these sample cards at Stitch, New Jersey last summer. So that's the color I'm using. It's a nice little crumpled mess. I really have not worked with silks very much. This may be the only project so far. But I won a bunch of Dinky Dyes silks, and also some Gloriana. Now I have to say, I did try the Gloriana black with a Mary Poppins chart when Mary Poppins was on TV in the fall. I didn't like it too much, the black. Now maybe it's that I think people have said black silk can be kind of hard to feel like. It's almost like white floss, like you know, you might not feel like you like your stitches as much. It doesn't, I don't feel like I can see the stitches, and kind of want to see the stitches. You don't want just a blob of, you know, black. So kind of hesitated on that one now. I haven't gotten back to that project. All right, so that concludes that bag. Now, also what I was telling myself I was going to do as I was doing this video is doing a tally of my WIPs, because last year around this time I was having a double nickel birthday last April, and so I'm already coming up on that very soon, and my goal was to touch 55 projects, either start them, complete them, or work on them as WIPs. I'm pretty sure that I've made that happen, but I do need to tabulate these WIPs. So you see it right here live. We're up to 4, if I didn't count wrong already. Now, of course, I really do need to sit here and write all the names out. I didn't get the Book of Days this year, but I do want to order it now because I feel like I'm missing out on that. I'm enjoying seeing lots of people show theirs. And that's where I will keep my list of WIPs. So I do have different lists going, but I've been working at a new job. I'm almost about 6 months in, and I just sort of feel like during my days, I just have to be so hyperly focused on what I've been learning and retaining what I'm learning that anything extra not gonna happen. So all right, so I'm trying not to show things that are really just kitted up and not a work in progress. So I'm just organizing my bags right now, because that is not a WIP. Okay. All right, so this has been a super fun project. The Winter ABCs by Little House Needleworks. But I was super inspired and loved the look of what Made by Michelle McGraw did, and she changed all the red to blue. I just love how that turned out, so I had to quickly follow suit. Choosing from my stash for the fabric was a problem though, because I didn't want this thing to be gigantic. So let's see, if you use 32 count, the finished size is going to be just under 19.5 inches long. So I definitely wanted to aim for that. I didn't want to do 24 count, and yet that's what I seem to have in my stash. So as I look at this and think about it, I went with 24 count, but I went with a Lugana, and I was really unsure how the colors were going to work. I really didn't, I wanted the blue to show up more. So what Made by Michelle McGraw did is she used a gray fabric. Well, I just didn't have that, and I did look at a few places. I didn't get to any of my LNSs when I was really trying to start working on this. This color is not showing up the best. This does look like gray, but it really is like a seafoam green. I don't know if my light is, that's maybe a little bit closer, and yet totally not. But look at the modeling. I just love this fabric, and then I really love how that sleigh turned out. And I had intended on following suit and doing the letters in white as the chart calls for. But it's kind of hard to get those to show up unless you have a really, you know, much darker gray or something. So I found in my thread stash and in my winter stitchy bags this fancy floss color. Let's see. I'm keeping it in my cute little thread bed that's all about summertime and kitties and inner tubes. So let's see here. Oh, of course I don't have the name of it. Do I have the name of it? Okay, Icicle is the name of what I'm using for the white in certain places. Like any place that there is a snowflake, I am doing that in Icicle, but I am using DMC 3766 as the color for the letters. and I'm using 803 as the blue. So I did a lot of analysis on which blue I wanted to pick, and I am really happy with how it's looking so far. I probably will still work on this till the end of the month. In fact, just pulling it out now, I'm like, oh, I want to work on this now. But I am starting to have a thing about bunnies and stitching bunnies and getting out my Leela Studios stitches bunny parade. I forget the name of she has her 2 little books of bunnies in their little carrot cars and things. So I finished one of those last year, but I have several more to make. So these projects are all in. I made this bag. Love the skiers. I did a little bit of downhill skiing in my life about 20 some years ago. Cross country skiing years before that. This is the front of the bag. So I do really like how this came out. One of the Mill Hill kits, buttons and beads. This is Winter Glow. And I first saw this when Pam of Pam and Steph was at a retreat, and she received this as a smalls exchange. I think it was at StitchCon, or maybe it was at Stitch West, I'm not sure. And it just turned out so cool. I don't feel mine is as cool, but it's been fun. So now I need to really just get that moon area, star area done, and there's a little village then at the bottom. It really was my goal, and I even went to Facebook about it and Instagram and said, okay, winter whips like this one, you're getting done this year. So it's not the end of February yet, so I guess I should stick with things like this and try to get them completed. All right, this was a start at the right after Christmas, I think. I don't think it was before New Year's. Oh my gosh. So my Tuxedo kitty is sitting on the table right here across from me. His name is Leo. Oh, now he's coming this way. Kitty, It's Cold Outside by Stitch with Coffee Designs on Etsy. So I have several of her mostly tuxedo cat designs. They're in their ugly Christmas sweaters and all that sort of fun stuff. So this is on a piece of Lugana that I had just purchased. Yes, I had just purchased this. Oh. I think that was Stitch New England. Unless it was at the Rebel Stitcher Retreat in Philly. At the end of October. Look at the cool modeling of that. I mean, it sort of goes like indigo and almost purplish. It is very, when I look at it, it's very blue, but it's pretty true in the camera, but it's so cool. So I have a pretty big piece of this, and this will be great for a lot of like more, I could see like a nativity stitch on this, and I think this is probably 24 count Lugana. Or maybe it's 32 count. So, kind of like Brenda. I'm going to have Laura after me. You don't know what your fabric is. So hysterical when that episode happened. I am one who will be attending the Hobby House Needleworks retreat in April, where I will get to meet both of them. I got to meet Laura last year in Philadelphia at the Rebel Stitcher Retreat, so that was a thrill. And now it's been one of my bucket list items to meet Brenda as well. And it's happening. it's all coming together. And that was my birthday. That's my birthday month. So even better. So the next WIP, I did not work on this at all this Christmas, but it's Christmas Wonderland by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. I really do like how they kit up their projects for you. And you could choose if you wanted to do Lugana or Ada. So I chose the Lugana, and it is 32 count, it says. It came with this needle minder. And this is my sad little start. That's part of the pond and the bottom of the Christmas tree. I got a long way to go. Oh, this is not showing, and I can't really show you the chart, but you can see it's a Christmas tree, and then an ice skating pond surrounding it, and then a little village. But the colors that they've selected, their colors are always very bright, and I love that. This is how they do their kits. So that's making me inspired too, and it's still, you know, it's still ice skating season somewhere. We're now getting rain, so can't go ice skating around here right now, I don't think. All right, I'm gonna lose my needle minder, so I'm gonna quickly grab that. I'll just share a little bit about my bag here, so you can see the inside of it too. So we got the skiers again, and then I purposely did the quilting so that it looked like, you know, slopes. All right, so that's all of that bag. Oh gosh, now I wasn't using my pencil to tally those WIPs. So we have the caterpillar, we have the cat, and the snowman. Isn't that adorable? Like, did you notice? It's a kitty snowman. Adorable. And then this one. And the winter ABCs. All right. So that's that. Now I will go into my other winter scene. I love cute little villages. I am working on many of the various village series by Country Cottage Needleworks. Started to get like one of the Nutcracker charts. I'm not a big Nutcracker fan, so I didn't stick with that one. Now, this bag holds the Glitter Village, and I didn't get all of them. This was one of the first series that I discovered when I first started cross-stitching the end of 2020, like sort of the fall of 2020, and Kimberly at Fat Quarter Shop was stitching this around that time, or that summer even. Oh my gosh, I just love them. Like the pastel colors, the cute little houses, like I'm all about that. So I have Glitter House number 1, Glitter House number 4, house number 9. Now I do have 3 of these FFO'd and hanging up. I've shown them in other floss tubes. I can't tell you which ones they are. This is number 6. this is number 7. This is one that I finished, and I actually did it in a different color. I did it in more of a periwinkle. Let's see if I can pull it right out here. These are the flosses that I use for this. Let's definitely show this collection of floss because most of my floss does not look like this. So, yeah, I'm not really seeing that color. I think it might have been this one, which doesn't look like anything. There we go. I don't know if that's the one that I used for this. All right, then we have the church, which is number 5. I did finish this one. And number 2, which was one of my favorites, I did finish this one. And I am doing all of these on this mint opalescent Ada. I don't know if you can see the sparklies. There's some of the sparklies. Definitely 14 count. And I know that I purchased it from Fat Quarter Shop because it was the winter going into 2021 when it was challenging to get things, and I needed extra, I think. So this is called Minty Green Opal, 14 count. All right, so looks like this is my progress on this one. So I'm almost finished with that one. Should really just get that one done. I have not pulled these out at all this year. Let's see if I have any others started. This is the start of something. Yeah. And this says that this is house number 1. I was going to a retreat and I'm like, I am starting these. Is there really going to be enough space? This is where I thought I was going to run out, I guess. So this is house number 1. I did a little writing. This says this is number 4. And this is this also seems to say it's number 4. So looks like I have some starts actually that will be coming on this one. I can't really call them. There's a WIP and several starts that need to happen. So there you go. All right, so that's the end of that bag. I don't even know how to tabulate that on my tally sheet. I guess it's just one WIP that I can count on that. Okay. I'm going to take a little break and just say that my name again is Lana, and I am the Silly Notion Stitcher, and thank you so much for getting me to over 600 subscribers. That's incredible, and I really appreciate you liking and subscribing. Many of you might have come over from Kathleen at Snickerdoodle Stitch. We've been quilty friends for about 10 years now, and so it's been really great to just go down this other path of cross stitch with her. We've been able to go to several retreats together, and we're going to be going to needlework. Well, it's now Needleworks by Jim maybe, and it's a market that's sort of in the spirit of the Nashville market, but he has us in northern New Jersey, and I think it's right near Piscataway, and we will be going there in March. No, we will be going there the first week of April. And it's at an Embassy Suites, and it's basically how they do Nashville, where he has various vendors come in. They sell bags, they sell fabrics, they sell banding, different great things, charts, of course. So we will be going there, and then later in April I'm headed to Hobby House Needleworks with my friend Jill, who is a stitcher, and we used to work together at QVC. And so we're very excited because we get to go to Hobby House, and I'm also a quilter, so I get to go to the wool shop, I get to go to the fabric shop, I get to go to the needlework shop, and then meet Brenda and Laura, and oh my gosh, how will I come back to my everyday life after that? So I am between Reading and Lancaster, in Pennsylvania. It is really raining hard right now, so I don't know if you're hearing that. I'm going to keep trying to keep this moving, but I hope you come back to my Flosstube. I know that there's a lot of people that are just starting up Flosstubes out there. I started mine probably at a weird time because I didn't have a lot of people viewing my first episode, and so I feel like it's been a slow viewership or whatever, but I started like the week between Christmas and New Year of 2020, and I thought that was a good time to start it because I figured people would have more time and might be watching more Flosstube. But like, it's amazing like how many new Flosstubers there are out there, and so I thought, well, it's time to do another WIP Parade. So thank you for watching. So there's a lot more to come. I do have another finish. This is a chart by Stitches by Ethel. Yes, Stitches by Ethel. This is Freezy, and I purchased this chart at the Rebel Stitcher Retreat in Philadelphia in October. I started it around the holidays. It is on a Monaco because I got this piece from a virtual retreat I did with Stitching with the Housewives, and I just didn't proceed with the chart that it was for, and it was perfect for this. I don't have a tart. I don't know exactly yet how I'm going to finish it. So that will be to come. So now I think we are going outside. Well, maybe not. I was going to say outside of the winter season. This is my curling bag that I made. Got it finished just before the start of the last Winter Olympics. I do like watching the curling. I have some of my skiing pins from my skiing jacket back in the day when I actually did go skiing. Let's see. Oh, actually there is really nothing in this bag, except I will show you. I do have this group of Set C stitch cards from Lord Holt. Cute designs. I did make that skate, and I have it sort of in a finish, but it's the smallest tiny pillow like that will ever be made probably, but so I do need to finish it because I did stitch it. Alright, so I guess I'm not really actively using that. I do have this towel that I purchased at, oh, I thought I was using this one. These are really decent towels. This I did get online, but I have seen them at Salty Yarns too. I probably got this from the Fat Quarter shop, and they would be 14 count. So it's a nice like modern type towel, and I was intending on doing like the hot chocolate or something on one of these. We'll just tuck that away for another future time. Okay. All right. Ooh, this is exciting. Kind of. I have found these bags on Amazon. I like a mesh bag that I can see through. I'm not a huge fan of the vinyl for the various reasons people talk about, sticking and stuff like that. All right, so this is from a magazine. I was excited to see this. This was from Cross Stitcher magazine. Probably, it's not dated, so it's probably from 2022. And this is Tiny Modernist. And she did this whole 12 Days of Christmas collection. I just want to make sure that I have the right designer, but I'm pretty sure that I do. So they're very folk art, and it does remind me of my Pennsylvania Dutch roots. I do like the colors. They're kind of funky and super bright and crazy. That his pants are kind of coming across as being hot pink there, but it's actually the DMC 666 color. So let's see, am I right about that? Oh, I'm sorry, 606. Like really almost like a burnt orange, like it's red but yet burnt orange. So these are the flosses. And I might have made a color change with the 956 with this color, maybe not. So I am using an opalescent pink 14 count Aida, just like a DMC Aida. I have a few of them finished now. I have that one. Got that guy done. The drum. Five golden rings that are like salmon rings. And then this is the dress of somebody. So I think that is my current progress. Was really hoping to kind of keep going with that and get them all done this year, but that didn't quite happen. So the dress, I think, is for that girl. Maids of Milton, probably. So I do really like it. It's a lot of fun, and it's just, you know, different. It's not your typical green, red, burgundy type Christmas stuff. These bags are also cool because they have actually two pockets. So they have like the large pocket, then they have an outer pocket. So I often keep the floss in here and even a label place. All right. Next we have, we're going to the beach now. I made this bag and then I had extra quilted fabric, so I made a little floss pouch. But in here I keep my Country Cottage Needleworks Boardwalk series. Those are the ones that are completed. The names are not added, but I am intending on adding names that apply to where I used to go to the beach. For the most part was in Stone Harbor, New Jersey. So you have the Springer's ice cream shop, and I did figure it out that Springer's will fit in there. I wasn't even going to do the surf shop, but there was and still is a Pete's surf store in Stone Harbor. So I don't even think I ever went in there. So maybe that name will get put on there. So I guess in terms of being a WIP, I started the next piece of waterline. And that's kind of actually fairly fun to do and something that I could like keep going. This is the first series that I am doing straight across, and we'll do the whole series as a scene. Little nerve-wracking, but I remember Kathleen Snickerdoodle Stitch talking about this, like, you know, if you don't keep with this stuff, it's going to be, you know, 10 years till your boardwalk is constructed. So, and I'm a seasonal stitcher, so I really only stitch on something like that during the summer. So maybe I should be starting to stitch on that now. But then when will I get my bunnies done and all of those fun things? The other WIP that I started in here, am I going to find the actual... This is where things start to unravel. I did start Boardwalk Review by Erica Michaels. This is, so Salty Yarns used to be in an old hotel at Ocean City, Maryland. And this is an ode to that hotel. We're pretty sure they've now torn it down. It was 100 years old. It was built in 1924. If not like 1923 or something. So I did start it, but I kind of remember I was comparing and using the fabric possibly for something else because the fabric was big enough that I needed it for something else. So I'm not quite sure where the project is because I'm not seeing it here. Okay. Here is this one. This is a Sue Hillis Designs. And I saw this hanging up on a doorway at Keepsakes. Had no intention of buying anything like this there, but I needed to get it. And I was like, oh, that'll be so fast to stitch. I do have the crab completed. And I have all my flosses in this little bag. I do like these organza bags for things like this because you can see through them and yet they're fairly protected. I was a little confused by how the chart reads for the letters, and now I get it. Like, they're just crosses. I haven't done a lot of back stitching in my life. And I was very perplexed at this, but now that I see it and have taken time, I'm like, okay, yeah, I need to just get back to this and get this done. Like, it's not the rocket science that I thought it was. Back to Beach Boardwalk. That's what it is. Beach Boardwalk. I do have my little library card. And I must have started this on July 4th. I am using fiber on a whim, 16 count. It's actually called Color Happens. There is a tiny bit of modeling to this, but it's actually not really, you really sort of have to be right on top of this. And I was nervous about this one again because I didn't want something white. I didn't want something beige as background. In the sample, it is a mint green, and I wanted something similar, but I knew I wasn't going to do linen. So this has worked out well that the white is showing up. So good. I'm glad I found that card. And if you haven't seen this lately, it includes this bicycle shop. You saw the ice cream shop, the surf shop. This, I definitely do have all of them. The saltwater taffy place. And I think in Stone Harbor there were 2 saltwater taffy places I can choose names for. A souvenir shop, which at Stone Harbor for us that was Hoy's. We always loved going into the 5 and 10 type shop. That wasn't really a 5 and 10, but especially if you wanted like a beach chair or something like that. So I think that is all of it. It's 7 patterns in that series. Also in this bag is this crab dance. Love that. This is by Tiny Modernist. But I don't think I have that kitted and ready to go yet. I also started, this is an Erica Michaels strawberry pattern on Mystery Ada. And I can't really show you the chart. I don't think I have the picture, like the cover picture here. Okay, and now the cat is climbing on stuff. All right, so we are moving on now. We're just gonna keep on moving on. All right. Things are piling up here. I had to do a take 2, so I totally don't remember if I showed off my Eagles shirt. This was from 2022, but go Birds. They won the Super Bowl. Yay. It was so great to see that happen, and we did watch them fairly faithfully this season, and so glad for everybody. So I've been keeping threads in my little thread bed that I made. This is like a piece of flannel, starfish on this side, cute little button, and you fold it up like this. And I've made a bunch of these for like table gifts and things, and people like them. They're kind of like, oh, what is this? And you know, you know, I don't always use thread beds myself, but they're typically appreciated. Then in this kitty bag I made, my kitty is off screen right now. Okay. I found this cute vintage little bag at the Lancaster Lebanon Quilt Expo last year. So there's a whole bunch of floss in here. I think Kathleen gave this to me. Keep your paws off my thread. I think she might have gotten that at Galleria. This is the inside. Very adorable. Kathleen also had these floss drops made for different retreats this year. So this is her late cat Jax. So adorable. I never got to meet him, but heard about him a lot. All right, so we have Kitties in the Round. Is a WIP in progress, JVW Designs. I wound up stopping on this one because I got frustrated because I do stitch in hand, and as I do that, I have learned now that sometimes I even have my thread and my needle still here. This is my progress. So I know that I'm trying to fudge now, but with something like this, I'm quickly learning. well, if you fudge over here, how are you going to fudge over there and make it all, I don't know. This was done in black, and I've had 2 black cats in my life, black and white. But it was done in the round, and it was tucked in like an old cake pan at Keepsakes. And so that was what I was trying to replicate here. This is being done on a gray Lugana. I don't know what the color is. And there was something I was going to say about this. This is there is an additional with this chart. You also get that cat by itself, and that's how they suggested the finish for that. Oops, there's chart. I have this tucked in there for floss. So I am using espresso bean for that chart. Gentle Arts. This is what I was saying. When I stitch in hand, between stitching in hand and then sort of tilting my head, I tend to cock the fabric to the side a little bit. And I think sometimes it misaligns where I really think I'm stitching. I'm following the chart, but yet I'm not stitching in the right space. So at least I know what to watch out for. All right. Wow, this is really, really going on. Okay, and what is this? This is a WIP, but I'm not seeing. Oh, the chart is here, but I can't show you. This is one of the Stitch with Coffee charts. Oh, here we go. Tuxie Daisy. This is what my cat would really love to do, but he gets to be out on the patio in his own little hut, we call it. So that is my start on that. I really should get back to this. This is a mystery Lugana. Looks like it's definitely a 28 count. I might have said 24 count before with mixing up my 14s and my 28s. Alright, so that is all of that. This is going to be fun to put away, and I hope I'm not mixing things up. Okay. Then I have my fun buttons bag that I made. These are fun zippers that are so easy to, you stitch on the outside of the fabric. You don't really have to turn the fabric inside out like you would traditionally when you make a bag, and they sell them at Missouri Star Quilt Company, and then Lori Holt has her own line of them. That's a Lori Holt fun sunbonnet bag charm that I think I got on sale during Black Friday this past year. Alright, so the only kit or WIP that I have in this one right now is the famed Stitch All the Things by Erica Michaels. I've seen this a few times as Smalls Exchange items at retreats. But I sort of wanted to do something different, as I always want to do. I'm okay with this, but didn't love the denim look. So when I was at the needlework market last year, can't believe it's almost going to be a whole year, because that happened in March. This year it's going to be in April. Here's my cat chewing on the bag. This is some of what we're talking about. So these were the colors that I switched up to. I wanted to use these Cosmo flosses, and this is all I have so far. I thought I had gotten a little bit further, but I started this at that retreat. And this is on 28 Lugana. Look at me. 28 Lugana, Rogue Dune, it says. And this is from Stitch by Stitch in Cape May, but they don't even have the maker of it. They just have Rogue Dune. They don't have, like, is it Atomic Ranch or who is it by? Yeah. So it's a little peachy beige. So that would not take me terribly long either if I kept up with it. So, and this is an off-season type of thing that this is the time to get these things completed. All right. I purchased this bag at the Needlework Extravaganza, the Needleworks by Jim market that I'm talking about in New Jersey last year. Couldn't resist. This is by Creative Country Girl. She traveled a bit to get to that market, and it's TammyBlaylock.com. I like the lace that she did. So this is my bag where I'm keeping all of my Told in the Garden. And I really only have one started, but I just love all of these different Amish oriented charts that I've been able to find fairly inexpensively. Many of these have just been like $5. And I probably wouldn't do the whole chart with a lot of them. So the only one I have started is the Strawberries Forever, because I first saw this on Brenda and Laura when I first started watching them. Fell in love with Brenda's, like, the blueberry drum that she has from that chart. And then the Strawberries Forever is, she had it done as a needle or a project roll, I guess. So cute. Alright, so this I chose to do on a Lugana. I would have done it on Ada, but now I'm more comfortable with Lugana, and I found this lovely, oh gosh, now the cat's knocking stuff down, but not project stuff, thank goodness. I think this is called Sand and Sea. So it's got these great patches of, like, you know, beige showing through, and I thought that I could work that well. I am changing some of the colors to be a little bit more brighter and modern for the Amish dresses and shirts. Oh, now I want to work on this. I have decided I'm probably not going to do the house row. I think that's what I decided. Because I don't think this would be tall enough for everything. So I gotta, like, write down my plan here, because I'm gonna keep moving with this and then not know what I was doing. There is also, like, a fence here that maybe I would skip that. And I'm sort of contemplating, like, do I want the words on it? Strawberries Forever. I think that was one of the things I had thought about cutting out as well. and probably that scroll at the bottom. I definitely want the quilts and them at their stand. I love the guy on his bench. All right. What I really do need to do with much of my stitching is sit down and replan some of what's going on here, because I do feel like I have a lot swirling in my head of oh yeah, I have that, and oh, I want to work on such and such next. But you almost have to like really look at the calendar too and be like, I'm not, usually I do enough goal planning in my work life that I don't want to set goals with my hobbies, but it does help to at least have a little structure and know just what you want to prioritize, type of thing. Okay. Oh gosh, I hope that's the right thing. I think that's right. Oh my. Okay. This is another one of these bags. And this is from the series Sampler of the Month, Country Cottage Needleworks, back from 2020. I have a few of these months made. This is May. I need to complete this. This is a DMC Ada that's got some really interesting color blends of pinks and golds. Of course, I just showed you that without showing you like what it's supposed to look like, because now I'm starting to rush. Let's see here. I am not sure where all of my like actual original patterns are. This was September. I did finish that one. And I did earn a ribbon at one of the fairs for that one. I can't believe I haven't finished this one. It's so adorable. The cute little pilgrims and turkeys for November. Let's see, do I have that one here? Here they are. Adorable, but need to finish. And then October involves cats. This is terrible. They're all mixed up, and yet again, something else that needs to be like, needs to just sit down or reorganize. That's all I have for this. I have a feeling some of these I might have done with one of the 12 and 12 for New Year's Eve, where I might have like quickly started some and not exactly sure where the pieces are and everything. This is August. I know I finished that. Little sand castles. Starting to get very windy here. June has cute ants marching. Can't really see it very well. But you got picnic baskets that are cute. That one I need to finish. This is all evidently I have with that one. I liked, my little rule for this one was that all of them had to be done on 14 count, because I did the idea that was going around at that time. Oh my gosh, do you see the branches? Where you have some sort of backboard and use a magnet and then use washers to change out each month. So that's how I started to do the finishes with all of them. So they all had to be on the same fabric, and yet I didn't, or same count, but I didn't want to use the same fabric. I wanted to change things up and use things that applied to the colors. This is the one that I started for June, and I've been thinking about redoing it because I didn't love the Ada fabric, and I think the size might be kind of tight. I guess I could keep going with it. I don't know. I'm not super in love with it at the moment, as you can probably tell. So, I'm not even sure, again, how to count those WIPs for my list. But definitely May and November are the ones that are most farthest along, so I really should try to keep with those. It's funny, I can find the, I have the charts easily at hand, but not all of the pictures. This is for December, which is very adorable. I held back on December because I just have so much Christmas. So that's why that one never gets completed. Which one is this? Oh, this is July. And I did finish that one. Very cute, Uncle Sam's. Okay. Moving along. We have sewing machines. Little, I made these little projects, bag charms for StitchCon and some of the retreats I went to last year. Cute little charm there. This has all of my bee stitching in it, things that deal with bees. However, I pretty much know, oh, okay, and this project, this is a WIP. This should be in, I have a strawberry bag. I'm not really sure. Of the name of this designer. But this was a clearance design I got down in the Baltimore shop. Stitching Post. And this is what I have finished with it. I think, oh, it goes like this. I got stuck with the basket. I think I have to rip out the black. It's just a little too black. I want to do something like more like how this is showing. So that's, and then that's where I stopped, and I think I moved on to summer stitching. So I'm not sure which fabric this is, except that it's a Lugana, has nice modeling on it. It kind of looks like Cream and Sugar, which I love, something like that. And the strawberries are really nice. They were lots of fun to stitch. I just hope that I know what the floss is that I've been using, because there's a lot in this bag. So I certainly hope I can find the right red that I was using. I'm not quite sure. Okay. All right, so, uh-oh, we're going back to Christmas. I just love these villages. This is a bag I purchased in the fall. I think this was at Stitch New England, maybe. So in here, I'm keeping all of my Mill Hill Christmas Village charts. Many of them have not yet been started. This one is a WIP that I'll be showing momentarily. There's that. This is the Cobbler, and I did start that one. The Town Hardware Store. I love hardware stores, like old-timey general stores. The Needle Workshop. And what I like to do with these is actually get them out and really sit and look at the colors, because being more of a newer stitcher, I'm not used to seeing blue-green, dark green, light green, dark blue, light blue, dark violet. So they've got all these different gradations of the DMCs. Now certainly they have the numbers, but the DMC is like that. So I have really learned I can't just quickly pick up something, because I messed up some charts that way. For instance, I know that I've did different yellows in the wrong places on this one. This is the Cobbler Shop, but it's fine. I'm making it work. This is on a 14 count Aida. This is a fabric flare, white French dots on Cafe au Lait, and I thought that would be fun. I purchased this, I think, for the Nutcracker Village, but since I decided not to pursue that, I like stitching on fabric I don't like to do the perforated paper because I stitch in hand, and so I don't do the up and down motion. This is the Schoolhouse, and this was another place where I messed up what they were calling light and medium blue. I didn't realize there were more than 2 blues, so I wound up on one half of the Schoolhouse stitching it one way, and then realized it was supposed to be different blues, and if I wouldn't have changed it and ripped it out, I would have run out of the right blue. Okay, so those are those. I don't know. I may have to, I'm sort of fading, and you might be fading, so I might have to do a part 2 of a WIP Parade. Or say, hey, I'll come back and do a spring WIP Parade. This has been a lot of fun, and I started it at the Grace Notes Retreat. Once again, I wanted to do something different, and this is on a gray. So this is that fabric again. This would probably be a good place to end, since we're back at the beginning fabric wise. My here we go. My white board has gotten covered. That measuring tape was a lot of fun to do. This fabric flare, Lugana, must have a lot of rayon in it. It's very flimsy. And I was like, oh, how is this going to be? But it was really easy. I like to stitch in hand, and I stitch from the bottom up. Like, I stitch in columns wherever I can. And so I just really got into a rhythm. Same with the back stitching of the measurement lines. They follow a pattern, so that was very easy. I don't know if I really showed this. So I did have to do a little bit of color changing so that everything would show up, because the called for floss, one of the flosses, this light pink I wound up choosing, was going to like match identically to the fabric. So this would be a fun one to get back to as well. And then you need to make sure you have like a big square piece as well. So this piece from my stash worked out nicely, because the square will be for the top of the mattress block. So I didn't get to that part of the design yet. Okay. So I think I'm going to end there and just say thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. It's really been exciting to be part of the Flosstube community. And I always love meeting other Flosstubers at, you know, lots of retreats and everything. You know, please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this. And I do a lot of different, you know, patterns. You can see I do a lot of smalls. I'm not doing... I have one or two samplers going, but they're kind of on the smaller scale. So thanks for tuning in, and happy stitching to everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye.